So
Shani,
again, yes.
I just want to, could you please rephrase about the primary key and foreign key once?
We will
I
do
was
it.
little bit confused.
Don't worry about it. I have the whole slide deck which will take you through your SQL once again
Okay, that's
when the time is right. So that
yeah,
comes
sure.
under relationship. So once that time comes, we will be repeating this definition of a fact table, data table, primary key, secondary key, types of relationship, the schemas, everything will come,
Okay,
will
no
cover
worries.
again.
Okay.
All right. So let's start. So this was yesterday's file, and all we did yesterday was we loaded the file of customer. And I'm going to save as patch. Okay, anyone who has faced difficulty in doing till this part, everyone is good with this step, uploading the data, all good?
Yes.
Yes, Shani.
How to reopen that file?
Yes, that's what.
How to reopen that file?
Right.
You will
How to
click
open that
and
file?
click on open report and browse for report. Since this is your first report, I think pretty much it should be over here only.
Yes, we have that.
So click on that. If it's not available over here, browse reports.
So we need to again do a save as mentioned today's date.
No, you don't have to. I do it so that I can, I know exactly what stage I left the previous session and what all I'm covering so that I can mark in my session planning.
Okay.
You guys don't have to do it, but you have to work on the same report.
It will take some time to open?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Sorry, Ishani, can you just show once again from where?
From where to open the file.
Okay, file. Okay.
And then open report. Over here, your report should be available.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Showing like this only, right?
Right. Now, over here, again, let's go back to our query editor. Like I said, we will be spending few days in the query editor before we move on to the relationship part. So the very first thing that we have to do in data is understand the data properly. Once we understood the data properly, we do the prepping and the cleaning of the data. And once that is done, then we get into the relationships and then the visualization starts. So there's a little bit time before we can hit visualizations and create charts. So yesterday we had finished this part. We understood how to connect with the data set, right? Get data. We understood what are the different formats of the data which we can get connected to. Then we worked in the query editor where we understood this meant for transformation of the data. And there are three main parts in the query editor. One is where the queries are kept, middle part where the table is kept, and the right hand side where the applied steps and the properties are there. So yesterday we saw and understood what is the purpose of the applied steps. And that's about it. That's where we stopped. Right? So till this part, any questions?
No, Shani.
No,
No.
Shani.
So M code is a scripting language. Like you had VBA for Excel, M code is used for Power BI. So a lot of time when you want to do a customization, when you want to create functions, I don't know for which batch, but for one of the Genpact batches only, I think they had asked me to create some function, I forgot. Over there, we had to write a whole function in the M code, but typically not required. So this is where my M codes are kept. This is a M code area, right? These are the applied steps. We can move the applied steps. This we can do. We can, if you right click on it, you can move before or after certain things. You can delete an applied step. You can rename the applied step. So sometimes, why we would want to rename, because it says change type 1. That really doesn't tell me exactly what step it took. So we can say customer ID type to text, something like this. So this is much more understandable.
How
So I
this
can
system again?
you can right click on it and you can click on rename. So we can rename our steps, we can move our steps, we can delete our steps, but yes, once you delete it, you can't bring it back. So based on how you are, what actions you're performing on Power BI, those applied steps keeps on creating themselves.
No, I'm sorry. ये जो sheet है ना ये कैसा है? I opened that file, but I'm unable to see. Yeah.
This file is a product of your query editor.
Okay.
Okay. So
Transform.
once you click,
Ishani,
yes.
actually, I was applying the same step, but I am getting error. The file is not opening in query editor.
It's not opening as in.
I mean, I just like you, I go to the open and yesterday
You open
file I
the
opened
workbook.
that.
Okay.
And again, go to the Power Query editor, it is showing some kind of error.
Would you be able to share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Click on transform data. Oh, go back. It is open. Press Alt Tab to look at the other windows. Go to, yeah, error could not find. Did you move the data?
No, it is on the same place I saved yesterday.
No, this shows the data has been moved. Is it in D drive training? Do not open AdventureWorks?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so do me a favor, go to data source setting button on the top. According to it, the data has moved. So you need to map it again. Data source setting.
Should I close it?
No, don't close it. And click on the file name, D drive training adventure. Yes. Click on change source and pick the file again. So browse and pick the file once again. Customer, right? Go back. Customer file, the third file. Correct. Third, no, sorry, second, yes, this one.
So,
Open.
don't we need to open the yesterday file which we saved?
No. But source is this now.
Okay,
It is
now
having
source
trouble
is-
with the source. So open.
Okay.
Click OK. Close it. How come it's not going away? Just refresh preview once under there's a button called refresh on the top. On the right side of
Under
like,
tools.
underneath the tool work, the word tool underneath it. No.
Oh,
You
no.
go to home again, home ribbon again. Yes, look for refresh preview. Yes, refresh preview. Yeah, now it's come. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
So Ishani, my question here is, if we delete the applied step, any of the applied step, so will the step which we have, done in past will also
Undo.
delete, or it will remain there? I
So
mean,
there is no undo over here in Power BI. The way to undo the work that you've done is by deleting the applied steps.
okay, that means the work will be deleted.
Correct.
Okay, if I have changed the data type, so if I delete that change type, then my that column will be again back as it was.
Numeric.
As a number.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
So see, it's back as a number again.
Okay.
Right?
Ishan,
Yes.
here, I'm not getting this option in term, in front of function. There is an option to write or check the
You're
query.
talking about this M code part?
Yeah.
So go to view and turn on your formula bar. This is a formula bar.
Go
So
to
Ishani,
view.
just now you have made one changes, change type one. Under that you have written something, and
Got
where
it,
those
thank
changes
you.
are reflecting.
So over here, what I clicked over here and changed the data type to text. So that's
Okay.
what is this step all about. Okay, so changes over here only it happened, right? So if I
No,
delete,
just now you have rename it, right? You
no,
have
I didn't
rename it.
rename it. I didn't rename it. So right now the data type is what? 1, 2, 3 means it's a number data type. I want to convert the data type to a text. So I clicked here and I said, make it text. So once I did, and I said, add a new step. So it created a new step called change type 1, and it converted this to a text format.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
What
Alright.
about the date?
We will work on that. Don't worry.
Okay, okay.
So we have the customer, we have the prefix, we have the first name, we have the last name, and we have the date of birth. And date of birth is not correct. So what is the issue? Issue is that this data that I have has the dates in the format of MMDD, which is US format, and my system is DDMM. Now, one way to solve this thing is to change the system date and time, but it's not preferred, because if I'm working on multiple reports, like for example, I do work on different type of reports where the date could be anything. So instead of keep on shifting my computer and the settings for it, what we need to do is we'll go to file, we'll go to options, and we go to options over here on the top. So options, within options, you will see that we have something called a current file regional setting. Why current file? Because I only want to change the setting for this file, not for entire Power BI, not for my system. So current file, regional setting, over here, we will look for US, English USA. And once we do that, we click OK, right? Once you've done this step, you will see nothing, no change happened to birth, date of birth. But now if you go and change the data type to a date data type, now you will see you'll get the correct output. Okay, so
Repeat
I'll repeat the steps again. Now you can do it with me. Go to file.
So
go to
we have to
options.
select that column also?
No, you don't have to select any column. We are making
Okay.
changes on the current file.
Okay.
Okay, so file, under file option settings and options. Everybody reach this part?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then underneath the options, we'll go to current file, regional settings, and change this to United States.
Okay.
Okay. Once you've done this, click OK, and then you can change the data type.
It's already showing me United States English.
It is already showing me.
United States English.
It is showing you as a date data type.
It is already showing me as a English United States.
Is your system US? Is it your system is MMDDYY? How is your system configured? Your system date, like in my case, it comes as 24/02 to 2020. What is the date in your system?
MMDDY for us.
You guys already have MMDDYY, right?
Imagine we have.
Yes, we
Some
do
of
have.
you have. So people who have will have this as a date. People who don't have to do what I did.
Shani, can you please repeat those steps? File,
Yes.
option.
So we
then-
go to file, options, option, and underneath option, we will go to current file and regional settings.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I am already getting the date in the same format which you are getting right now.
So your system is MMDDYY, correct?
Yes.
That's the reason. For those of you whose system is DDMMYY, you will have to do what I did in order to get the correct date format.
What region did we select?
US, English
US.
US.
Okay.
Yes. Any other thing? What about?
Shani, sorry.
Yes, correct.
Post that, what do we have to do?
Post that, what you have to do is you have to click on, you can click on that ABC. It opens this data types and select date.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So Shivani, the changes that we just made, is it getting automatically saved or do we need to save
No.
it?
This one, oh, no. So you have to keep saving your Power BI files, just like any other files we have.
Okay.
Why?
No, that's fine. I was just wondering.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Now, there is one more problem in this data, and that is that we have annual income as ABC. Should annual income be ABC?
No.
No.
What should it be?
Currency.
Number.
Currency.
It should be
like
number or
format.
currency, but not text for sure. So that is also an issue. So we will figure out how to clean that part also. So till now, what you've understood, how to change a data type, how to convert the current file regional settings from India to US or US to India, depending on how the file is, and that's about
Ishani,
it.
Ishani,
Yes.
one quick question. So I tried the same steps,
Mhm.
regional to US, but it's still showing the same
Yes,
date
it will
format.
still show ABC. Then you need to click on it and convert to date.
Sorry, yeah, I missed that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ishani, I have one doubt.
Yes.
The first part, we have done some changes for customer key to ABC, right? So what changes does it happen over there? I didn't understand that. So at the top over here, you have selected ABC. Earlier, it was a numeric number, if I'm not wrong.
These are numbers, and because the data had numbers, it was taking it as a numerical field.
Mhm.
Okay. Now the challenge when you keep it as a numerical field is, let me turn it back to this. Hold on one second to explain you. The challenge with keeping it numerical field is when anybody is working on your dashboard, or even you are working on your dashboard, since the customer key is a numerical field, you see the summation sign coming up,
Yes, yes.
right? So the tendency is that we can do some kind of aggregation on top of it. So for example, I did an aggregation. This is giving me 18.15K. But does it even make sense to do any kind of aggregation on a customer key?
No.
No. So to refrain this thing, that even Power BI does not make this mistake, we don't make the mistake of summarization on it. No sum, no average, nothing could be done on it. We convert it into a text field.
Okay.
Okay, so just like how in education level, all it can do a count. It can't do anything else. Same thing will
Yes.
happen with customer key. It will not be able to do anything which is not correct. So
Okay,
that
by
was the whole
default,
point.
whenever we are doing this, we have to keep it as a text field only.
Yes. So typically the primary keys, if they are number-based things that we have created, then make sure that they are converted to a text.
Understood. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Let's look at some of the, the tools that we have over here and what is the purpose of these tools. So let's talk about, first of all, column and rows, what it helps us to do. So where is columns and rows? Do you see over here? Choose column, manage columns, reduce rows. This is in the home tab. So choose column does what? For example, like one of the case studies that I did for an NGO was that they had a data set which had about more than 50 columns in it. And only I would say, if I remember, 15 columns were the columns in which we had to work. The rest, all of the columns made no sense to work as on the data because the data was not good. I don't remember why, but there were 50 and I wanted to work on 15. So instead of keeping all the 50 columns, what the first step we did was we kind of chose the columns we want and removed others. Now, why we do this activity? Number one, it lightens our processing on the Power BI. Number two, when you're working in your reports, the unnecessary columns will not be visible. Something that I know will not be used will not be visible also over here. So if I have few columns that I want to keep and remove more, then we use choose column. So what it can do is, for example, I say I want these three, I don't want others. So I can click on choose column. So it'll get rid of others for me. This is the painful part. Makes you do it again over here. So now what it has done, it has removed the other columns. Only 3 columns are left, right? Similarly, if I said other way around, remove column. This I would do if there are few columns I want to remove. So let's say I don't want these 2 columns. Then I can click on remove column. So all the columns are as it is, but those 2 columns were only removed. Is it clear? Yes.
Yeah. Do we have an option to, not entire delete the step, applied step? Is that option to edit that particular, if I want to, first I selected 3. Yeah.
So for editing, you will work in the M code.
Okay.
So for that, you need to know your M codes well then. Because see, if I, let's say, for example, like deleted it, right? So over here, my M code got generated for this step. And what is the M code? That remove columns, first name, last name. So if this is easy to understand. So if I do this and I run it, so last name came back, but the first name is still deleted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. But again, how easy it is for us to understand a M code, it would depend on that.
Ishani, these both
Yes.
options are working same. Like either we choose the choose column or remove columns. Then why there are two columns? We can do either of the work with the either
No,
of
the purpose is different. The time saving is there. If I have 50 columns and I want to keep 5 columns, so it's sensible to choose the 5 columns and keep them, remove others, right?
Okay.
Rather than saying 45 columns, I'm going to pick and remove these. And out of 50 columns, if I have to delete 2, then we do use remove columns.
Okay, as per our requirement, we can choose
Yes,
either of the
yes.
option. Okay.
So if the number of columns to be deleted is more, we use choose column. If the number of columns to be removed is less, we use remove columns.
Got it.
All right. Okay.
So Ishani, can we merge the column of name like prefix?
Yes,
first?
we can. We can. We are going to keep on adding to our understanding. A lot of things we'll cover over here: reduce, sort, split, group by. You've already used replace. Use row as a header, replace. Then we'll get into merge, append. A lot of features are there. So we'll go one by one.
So Ishani, I have a question.
Ishani, just checking again, the choose column does what?
Which one?
The choose column.
Does what? So if I say I want to choose this, it only keeps those 2 columns, and whatever we choose over here, it will keep those and removes others. So when you say choose, you mean
It's
you
like a
want to keep
filter.
those. Yeah, on a column, which Excel does not have.
Yeah.
But it has now. We should not crib about it anymore. Yes,
Ishani,
Vivek.
after this selection and click on the choose column, so it's removed
all the others, but those,
the others.
the ones that you chose.
But after we need again use to other columns, so it come back or not?
No, until and unless so you're not hiding, we're deleting, right? So the same like Kshitij, what he was asking, for example, you said choose column and you picked 2 columns, right? Now he said, I don't want all, but I want few things to be changed. Then you have to work with your M codes.
And so what the difference between choose column and remove column?
My goodness. You want to make me do choose column, remove column for the rest of the class today, I think. What happened?
Ishani, the fact is that since we are just choosing few of the column and removing the other, it is the same way around if we remove the other and select the few. On the drop down of remove column, there is an option remove the other while select the few. So how it is different from choosing and removing? Is it permanently removing that thing or what thing?
It is permanently removing. Oh my God. Why you guys are in love with manage columns only? That's like least of a headache. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try to find that data.
We want only just understood. It's hidden or it's removing?
It's not hidden, it's removing.
It won't come again.
It won't come again.
So,
but we can reverse this process, no?
You can undo, delete your applied step. That's it. If you see, this is the data I was talking to you about. This was for some HIV study that they were doing, this NGO. So these are the bunch of columns I had, imagine. And they had no work in the work that they're given to me, it has no contribution. So what should I do in this case? Choose column or remove columns? I'll put the ball back in your court now.
Remove.
Choose columns.
Choose columns.
Choose columns. Why? Because there are only few columns I need to choose. This makes sense. Instead of saying I want to pick all these and then I want to remove columns. So why should I sit and remove 42 columns when I know I can choose only 11 columns and finish my work? Now is it clear? Choose or remove? Yes?
Yes.
Gunjan,
Yes.
Vivek, choose or remove.
Little confused.
Little? Why little? I've opened up the file for you now.
Actually, now I
74
am
columns.
confused.
Why you're confused, boy? See, 74 columns. Out of 74 columns, my study. See, whenever you are going to do visualization, or when you did, you guys did Python? No, you guys didn't do Python. So, for example, you are doing visualization, right? So you are going to get a lot of data from the company because they are not the analysts, they are not the people who know the tool. You know the tool, so they give you everything they have. Like this company gave me everything they had. They gave me all the 74 columns. Now, whether I needed or not, I didn't need, didn't really matter to them. So now, what is the issue over here? As a analyst, as a visualizer, I have to see, first of all, do I need to refine the data or do I need to prep the data before I can actually create a dashboard or not, right? So my decision was, okay, what are the columns that I need? So I had to read the data. Then I asked them, okay, what is this week 11 given? What does it really mean? How does it add value to my data set? I had to understand all these things. And then I took the decision. I think I did use this value, but I had to transform this data quite a bit to use it. But at the end of the day, if I decided this data is not adding value to my work, my objective, what I want to reach, the dashboard that I want to create, it's not doing any value addition, I'll get rid of the data. And why I want to get rid of the data? Because then my software has little lesser data to work with. And as long as the data is less, its processing is going to be faster. Okay, so two things we do. We get rid of columns we don't need. We get rid of rows we don't need. It's not just the columns we get rid of. Sometimes we get rid of rows also that we don't need. A simple example, going back to this data set. Let's say there are multiple countries in this data set. And your work is only to make a dashboard for USA. So do you want to load up your Power BI with all the countries' data? Or would you only select USA?
USA only.
Only USA. So what you are going to do in that process, you're getting rid of the rows which are non-US.
Right.
Right.
Correct. So all these things that we are doing in manage columns and manage rows is to just refine the data to the rows and columns which are going to be directly used in my dashboard. Okay.
So Isha, I think there are two way arounds.
Sorry.
Yep, there are two way arounds. As per your way, we can select for say we want to select the first 4 columns that include customer, prefix, first name, last name, right? The first method says choose the column with a drop down filter option, and the other one I believe is that we select these 4 and remove the others.
No. When you select and you click on remove, it will remove these.
No, they remove the other, not the remove these.
There is
remove the
those
other.
two options.
Yeah, remove the other.
Oh, okay.
It
When
would
you
work
add
the same.
All right, I agree.
So
You
what's
can do
the
that.
difference then? Matlab means it does
It's
reduce the
just,
data
I
model
guess
size
it's
or
just
something?
wanted to, there's no difference. It just wanted to give you more choices, I guess. Like I can change
Wouldn't
data type
it
from
reduce
here
the
also.
size of the database? Wouldn't it reduce the size since we are using the word remove rather than choosing? So choosing is like hiding the thing, while removing is like truncating the things. What does it affect the file size?
We can try and we can do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, point is whether you choose or you remove file size. Okay, that is a valid thing. That I don't know. I get your point now. What you're saying is like when I keep this, you're saying I have hidden the other columns.
Yeah. That's why I
kind of.
said remove all the 42 columns when you selected. I said just remove it and keep only those whatever we needed.
There has to be some kind of optimization between these two.
Probably. That you can experiment and tell me also. All right, Gunjan. On this file,
Yeah,
probably you
sure,
can
sure,
save
sure.
it in 2 ways and just see how much is the file size difference is there. If the file has not changed from original, then probably it's hiding and not deleting. And if there is a change in the file type, then yes, it's deletion. All right.
Sure.
All right. Okay, let's move on to favorite topic, keep and remove rows also. So again, what it does is when you say keep top rows or keep the bottom rows, so various choices are there. If you want to keep a bunch of rows and you want to keep the duplicates or you want to keep the errors, okay. And remove does do the opposite. It will remove the top rows, remove the bottom rows, remove some alternate rows if you want to do. Remove duplicates. This comes really handy if I have duplicacy in my data set. And when it talks about duplicacy, so if I say remove duplicate, for example, over here, let's say, if I do like this, now it is working on the column level, right? Not on the row level. It's working on the column level, and that's why it's kept only 3 things, which is male, female, and NA. So you have to be a little careful when you are saying remove the duplicates on it. So if I select the entire table and then I do remove duplicates, then it makes more sense, because then what we are trying to do is, then we are trying to remove duplicates on a row level. But if you select only one single column and do remove duplicates, then it's going to remove duplicates in that particular column. And as a result, all the other related pieces of rows will get deleted. Got it? Similarly, if you have errors, so we can rectify those errors. You know, you can keep the errors row, look at, okay, why the errors are coming, and then we can rectify the errors. Or if we decided, no, we want to get rid of the rows which has errors in it, then we'll do the remove errors over here. All right.
Yes,
Shani, can you select the whole table and then do the remove one, the other option that you were talking about? Is there a shorter way to select all the?
I think shift would work. In tab view it works. Hold on. If I
Can you
use,
explain the row part working? Shift is working.
Yeah, shift would work.
And if we maybe remove the rows, will that ask for, or remove the duplicates, will that ask for?
Ask for what?
Ask for the what? Ask for the selection of the field.
Selection from the field meaning?
Like in Excel, what happened is when I try to remove multiple columns, it asks for apply the selection to the whole all the columns.
It doesn't. Remember when we selected like this and I said remove duplicates, it just did it. It's not asking anything.
And when I select and remove duplicates, what does
when you select as in?
Select the whole table.
Then it didn't change the data, right? Because this is a fact table. All your data would be here. See, remove duplicate is already applied and all the table data is there.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Ishan, I have one question. You have said that when we are removing the duplicates, we have to be careful, and the steps you have applied for the steps like of column wise duplicate. But when we are doing it with the row wise, how can we do this to remove duplicates?
So that's what I did. In the row wise duplicate, basically you're saying you're not only considering one column, but I want to consider all the columns, correct? So I'll select all the columns and then I can do remove rows and remove duplicates. So for example, over here, if you see this table, just to give you an idea, if I want to do a count of values over here, I've got 18,148 count, matlab 18,000 customers I've got, 18,148 customers I have, right? So let's do this thing. Let's try to select all and remove duplicates. And on this data, let me do the same thing. I want to do a count. It's still the same number.
Because we have primary key.
Yeah, got it, Ishan.
Because none of the rows are repeating itself.
Right.
But if you select one single column, then it's working on the values of that column itself. So if I, for example, again, so if I had picked, for example, marital status and gender. So now I'm finding duplicates in what? I'm finding duplicates based on 2 columns. And now if I do a remove duplicates over here, so I'm getting multiple times married, multiple times single, and multiple times male, females, and NA.
Yes, got it, Ashani.
Okay. Remove other columns, reduce the file size, while column selected, not change the files. So basically what Gunjan, your thought was correct then. Probably in choose column, it's hiding and not really removing it. Whereas in your remove columns, it is actually going ahead and deleting it from the database. Okay, so everyone, new finding for me also. So basically what remove columns is doing, and if you're using both remove columns or remove other columns, it's deleting the data, whereas choose columns is hiding the columns. Because what Gunjan understood, that if he does choose column, then the file size is not changing. Because if the file size is not changing, means the data is still there. And in the remove columns, the file size changed, hence it means we got deleted with the data. So same thing will happen in keep rows and remove rows.
So if choose column is not deleting the data, it is only hiding. So there must be any option to unhide them again, or accept applied steps.
There is no other option except applied steps.
If it is hiding,
or it might be, hold on 1 second. My goodness, you just love the column hiding, unhiding. Let's say, okay, go to column. Nope. I thought this could work, but no. Nope. I don't know. At least
it's
I
all
don't
about
know.
the size of the file.
See, anytime when you're deleting also in the applied steps, I could get it back. For example, if I went ahead and deleted this and I said remove columns, but I can always go back to my applied step. As long as it's connected to my data source, I can get my data back. I got my last name back.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ishani, what is the option for count? Actually,
We will reach there. I was just doing that quickly to show you what is the difference between when you select a column versus entire table for remove duplicates. We'll go stepwise. Any questions again in manage or reduce rows? Nope.
No, Shani.
And for sorting, you have these buttons over here, which is same as Excel, or you can also do one more thing. You can click on this drop down and then again, you can sort ascending and descending. Though all these things is for us to sometimes look at and understand the data better rather than the visualization part. For visualization, doing ascending, descending is not going to make any difference over here. So sorting is more for us to look at the data and to understand the data better. That's it. For example, if I wanted to understand in terms of income, which is a least and which is a maximum. So I can quickly run, ascending and descending and look at it. Next thing that we want to work with is okay. So basic table transformation, step number 1 is always going to be check the data type. If the data type is not correct, change the data type. If you want to sort the column, not required. Promote the headers. This you have seen over here. Do you remember what was the role of promote headers?
Yeah, the first row becomes the header.
Yeah, if the header is not picked as the first row is not picked as a header, then you need to promote the rows as a header over here. Now let's talk about the first tool over here, which is the text tool. Now, where is this text tool? So there are two ribbons that you will see. One is called transform and one is called add column. And pretty much you will see they look pretty much common. Transform also has a text column, number column, date column. Your add column also has text, number, and the date column. So what's the difference between the two? So when you say transform something, it will transform on the same column. And when you say add a column, what it will do is it will add a new column and apply it. A simple example, let's take the first one of split column. In split column, you can split based on delimiter, you can split by numbers of the characters, you can split based on position. Okay, so let's go over here.
So, Sunny.
Yes.
I have a question. So,
yes.
For example, this is a raw data and we put into the Power Query. So can we store small parts, make a small tables and store here with the same and a single raw data?
Let me rephrase and understand if I've understood the question correctly. So do you mean that can we create new table in Power Query? Are you asking me that? Or Power BI?
No, I want to create from this raw data.
You want to extract data from here.
Extract and save here multiple.
Yes. You want to have this data as multiple tables in.
Yes.
That's what you're asking. Yes, you can. You can extract the tables from a table and create new tables from here.
So
we can.
extract. Okay.
You're extracting, right? Because you'll have to tell based on what you're extracting. Let's say I want to get all the bachelor's data and put it in one table.
I have to multiple times, every time get the data and into the Power Query.
For what?
For filtering and saving the new table.
No. We don't do it through Power Query. We do it in our reports only. In reports only, we have an area where we can create new tables. Okay. We can create new tables. We can write DAX functions to put in the formulas and the conditions based on which it can extract from the main table and create a new table for you. Okay. We can create tables where we can put the values also ourselves manually. So this will come when we do DAX. All right, Vivek?
Okay.
All right. So like I was saying, when you talk about annual income, in annual income, you have this, what do you call the dollar symbol over here, right? So if I'm in transform and if I say I want to split by delimiter or by position, oh no, this is not good. Let's say extract and I say extract after the delimiter, text after the delimiter, just to show you the difference between transform and add column. So if I say after the delimiter extract, so if I click here, what is the delimiter? It's the dollar symbol. Click OK. So what it did, it changed in the same column called annual income, correct? Or did it create another column?
In the same column.
No, in the same
column. So that's what transform does. Same thing I can do to add column, and I will have the same thing called extract after the delimiter, and I'll put again the dollar symbol over here and click OK. And now you see what it has done. This is as it is with the $90, but you will see another column has been created which has text after delimiter and only the values over here. So this is your new column. So
like text to column.
Like text to column, correct, right? But in text to column, again, you have both the options, right? You want to retain the existing column or you want to work on the existing column also. Same process over here. So that's the main difference between transformation and add column. Now let's look at what are the options that we have in text column. In text column, we have things like splitting by a delimiter, splitting based on number of characters that we have, or splitting based on positions. So for example, let's say we are going to work with this occupation and we say we want to split based on position. So it is going to ask us based on which position. So if I say, let's say 3 and I click OK. So what it has done, PRO is gone. Everything after that is left with us. So this is occupation 1 it has created, and I was in transformation. So that's my data. Got it? So based on the position, you can do it. You can do it.
What is difference between by number of character and positions here?
By the number of characters and positions. So if I go back.
In occupation only. Like
profession only, I'll go back.
Right.
Profession. Okay, so if I do number of characters, So how many times do you want to repeat? Like you want to have after each three characters you want to split? Do you want to only split for the first three? Do you want to only split for last three? How do we want it? So you will see a lot of things are overlapping. Like this thing that you are seeing, you will see in extract also, it will come back. Okay. Understood? So if I say repeatedly 3 characters, now what it will do? Pro, fetch, it's divided everything into 3.
Okay.
After 3 characters, it's doing it.
Can we split it by space?
Space is a delimiter, right?
Yes, like you use the position and write 3 over there. And if we mention the space, like if the occupation is in 2 word, professional worker, like
so you
that.
will
then
only use delimiter, and in delimiter you will put a space at each occurrence.
Okay.
Right.
Split
Over
by-
here also you have a choice. You want to do leftmost, rightmost, or at each occurrence.
Okay.
Shani, we can put any formula here, like I want to remove only pro, but in the management there is no pro word, so we can put here any formula type.
You can do replace values.
Replace values. Okay.
That is not splitting, right? That is a different, for example, let me see, replace value, what to find, PRO, replace with what, nothing. And match the entire cell, can replace by special characters. Let's click OK. So only pro is gone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's not splitting, that's replacing, because not all the values are to be looked into for that. Right? Okay, in split column, so there is limiters, number of characters, number of positions. This is what I like mostly about Power BI, the power of segregating between digits and non-digits to digits, or uppercase to lowercase. For example, over here, if I do a uppercase to lowercase, it will keep P in 1. So if I go to, let's go to transform only and do it. In this, we can do upper to lower. So what it does, it keeps the P as it is. Then whatever rest is a lowercase, so it will put it in the next. And over here also, for example, it was skilled manual. So skilled until again there was change from upper to lower, then it will again split it into multiple. So this is a very, you know, especially when you're dealing with your what do you call the values which has text and numbers both, right? So this digit to non-digit to digit really helps. This is a big advantage that I saw in Power BI and I really enjoyed it. Okay, any question in split columns?
No question.
No question.
So, okay, so we move on to format. In format, what we have things like lowercase conversions, uppercase conversion, to capitalize each word, to trim. What does trim do? If you guys know, what is trim?
Remove
excess spaces.
Remove the excess
spaces.
space.
So if there are spaces before or after or more than one space in the middle, then trim helps to remove those. And clean also does a work of removing, but it works with the non-printable characters that might be there. So sometimes, you know, you have non-alphabetic kind of characters when you are doing formatting. So those get removed by clean. And if you want to add a prefix or a suffix to a particular column, then again, we can click over here. For example, we can add a suffix. What is a suffix? Let's say IV hyphen, and we click OK. So everything has a IV hyphen in front of it. So that's what we do in format, right? Like I said, you will see a lot of, what do you call, a lot of similar things over here. Then there is merge column. So what happens in merge column? Like somebody was asking me about a merge column. What happens in case of merge column? Right now it's disabled. Reason it's disabled because only one column is selected. So if I have multiple columns selected, let's say if I have all these 3 columns selected, now you will see merge column has become highlighted. So if you click over here, first it will ask you, do you want a separator? Let's say we want a separator of space. And what is the name of the merge column? Let's say the name is full name. Now remember, I'm doing transformation. So if I'm going to do transformation, how many columns will be left at the end?
Only one.
Only one. So all the three columns will be gone, and only
Yes.
one column will remain, which is called full name. Okay, and the order matters how you choose. See, I messed up. Mr. and Mrs. is coming at the end. So, or we can easily fix it by. All right, so now it's done. So we can do a merging, but if I would have said add column and do merge in it, then I would have got all the three columns as it is, and a fourth column would have been created with full name. All right. Then we have something called extract. Like I said, a lot of repetition. Extract will do what? Length. Length works like a length function of Excel. So if I click on length, what it has done, it has calculated the length of each and every value in this under the column name and given me the length of the characters over here. Then if I said, the first character, so you can tell me how many, this works like a left function of Excel. So if I say 3 characters from the left, so it will give you only 3 characters from the left over here. So this is working like a left function. Similarly, we have the right function, which is working as last character. So from the very last, how many characters do you want? Then we have a range, which is equivalent to your mid function of Excel. In range, what you have to do, you have to tell from where do you want to start and how many characters do you want it from there. Okay, so this works like a mid function. And then we have text before delimiter, text after the delimiter, and text between the two delimiters. So if I don't want to split my entire value into multiple columns and then sit and delete the columns, I might as well use the text between delimiter, after, or before the delimiter. So it extracts the value for me. Got it?
Yes, Shani.
I will put this PPT up here. Let's try to do one or two questions. So in the customer file, let's do this and then only we'll stop the class today. Convert the name to a proper cases. Number 1, create a new column with the full name. So what I have asked is new column. So it's not going to be transformation. Create a new column where the username and domain name, to get the username and domain name from email ID. My bad English. Create new columns, not a column. Create new columns so that you get the username in one column and the domain name in another column of email ID. And in the domain name, replace underscore with a space. So how would you replace? Remember, I forgot who had asked me to get rid of the pro. So I did a right click. And there is something called replace value. So you'll use the replace value for the last one. Try to do this.
Is this PPT saved?
Yeah. What happened?
Is this PPT saved in the
I'm going to do it today.
Okay.
Ishani, what do we mean by proper cases? Name into proper cases.
Proper cases means in a word, the first alphabet is capitalized and rest of it is in lowercase.
Okay.
For example, no, I don't have an example over here.
Got it.
Yeah. Something like replace value tool, where R is capital, V is capital, P is capital. Done. All right.
Done, Ishani.
Done. Okay. 2 people done. What about others?
On the third one.
Third one.
On it, Ishani.
Done. All right.
Ishani, in case of third C, create a new this one, right? So in add column, we'll go to the add column, right?
Correct.
Then is there anything we can use, right? A delimiter, we need to use delimiter.
Correct. So you want to extract, right?
Right. So
Extract
there's the
before the
option
delimiter.
here.
Text before delimiter.
Yeah. Okay.
And then add sign.
Where is it? Just
It's under add. Then look for the text from text and extract text from delimiter.
okay.
Okay. And for the next one also, you will be using between delimiters. Because
Okay.
one is @ and one is .com.
Yes, yes.
Ishani done.
Done. All right. Deepika done. Shweta done. Gunjan done. Tarun done. Abhishek done. Who else?
We need the name and the domain, both of them,
Correct.
right?
So name would be John24 and domain would be adventure_works.
Okay.
Wait, done.
Can I see last question, fourth question?
Oh, sure. Sorry. We are done. And remember, guys, every day you have to save your files so that we can use these things in the future. Virendra done, Lalit done. Tanu. Sanjeet.
Domain column replace dash with space user this.
Sunil, what's the status? Ankita, Sandeep, Arshad. Sunil done?
No, Ishani, I'm doing.
Okay, let me know if you need any help.
Yeah, just
Ankita is done.
doing.
Are you working on last? Give me a moment.
Sure.
Place you can use.
Girish, you need any help? Govind.
So Ishani,
Yeah.
in C, so there will be 2 columns, right? One with username and the another
One with domain. Correct.
Domain and in domain name.
So the email ID has both, right? For example, the first one, John24 is a username.
Right.
Adventure_works is a domain name. So out of this, we need to create 2 more columns.
Right.
One for the after the delimiter and one for the before delimiter.
Done, Ishani.
No. Not after the delimiter. I don't want .com. .com is not domain name. Domain name is AdventureWorks.
Then between the delimiter.
Between the delimiters, correct.
@ first will be and second one will be dot.
Dot, correct.
Okay. Done.
Hey, Shani, I have created 2 columns,
Mhm.
domain and adventure work. So I need to remove hyphen, yeah, or replace the hyphen with the space. So
Correct.
which option I want to use?
For that, you can do right click on the column. You will get this thing called replace values and just put what are you looking for? We are looking for the hyphen, replacing it with what? Nothing. So something like this.
Find
And then
it.
click OK. This is your find and replace, similar to your find and replace of Excel.
Yeah, done.
Done. Okay, let me also do it quickly. The answers over here.
Yes, so,
Number one, yes.
Shani, could you please could you please show me the question number 1?
Sure, I'm
Convert
doing
the
one.
name
Convert the
proper
names
case.
into
Yeah, which
proper case. Okay. So
yeah,
for
which we
example,
created the extra column for.
so I can pick all of them, all 3 of them, and we will go to transform in this case, and we will go to format, and we will just say capitalize each word. Proper cases, capitalize each word. So we've got the first one. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Then the second one says create a new column with the full name. So our columns are already selected. We can go to add column, under add column, do merge columns, and we would like to give a space as a separator. And over here, we'll put it as full name. And a column for full name would be created. Neil is also done. All right. And then next is create new columns with username and domain names. So for this, we need the email ID. In
Shani,
email ID,
I missed. Sorry, I missed the first one. How do we change the name to proper?
so you
I
can
mean-
select the 3 columns. And once you've done in transform itself, you can go to format and capitalize each word.
Capitalize each word would, capitalize
That
whole
is
characters.
proper case.
This is the proper case, right?
So capitalize
Oh.
each. This is a proper case.
Okay.
Proper case means this only. I think what you're confusing
Yeah.
is sentence case.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we did that. Now we're coming to column number, the question C. So over here, we wanted to add new column. Since we want to extract before the delimiter, what is a delimiter at the rate? So we can create this, click OK. So you will see a new column got created, and we can double click on it and change the name to username. And it is going to be text data type. So that's fine. Then you can go back to your email ID. Again, in add column, we are going to extract once again, but this time we'll do between the delimiters. And where we are saying at the rate and between dot is where you need to find the value. Click OK. At the very end, again, you will see adventure gods created. And I'm going to double click on it, name it domain name. And in domain name, I had to replace the underscore with space. So right click, hyphen, right, hyphen with space. So I can give a space, click OK, and done. And again, if I want to change the format, then we can do capitalize each word and get a proper format over here. And I don't know why I created new column this time. This should not be done. I don't want to create a new column for this. So in this case, I will pick transform, and transform. I can do my, where is my text? Over here. This is better. Got it? And once you're done with all this, go back to home, close and apply. So that all the changes are going to get applied to our file. Then you save your file and close it. That's it. Got it?
Yes, Ishani.
So next time we will continue and we will do number tools, date tools. We will work on something called index and condition columns, group by, pivoting, unpivoting, merging the queries, appending the queries, and then we'll get into the data modeling. I think tomorrow's class also will be spent on transformation itself. All right, then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you save your files, guys, because everyday work will be important.
Sure, Ishani. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much,
Bye-bye.
Shani.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Shani.
much.
Thank you, Shani.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shani.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Ishani, hi. You still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Ishani, one quick check. I recently enrolled this course. Yesterday only I joined this course today onwards.
Okay.
So not sure about yesterday work, and today as well. The few things is still not understand completely, but I would
So-
like to. Yeah.
So Sunil, two things. Number one, you need to be in our learning management system. Okay, from
Yeah.
where you need to download these files that we will be working with. And number two is you will have to watch the videos which Vinay has. We don't have videos.
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect with Vinay as well. Vinay told me that yesterday's session is already recorded and already there in some place in Teams. I need to
Mhm.
watch through it.
Mhm.
And based on that, probably I will take a one more day to just go through it, what is exactly contained and how we need to do it. So
Sure.
till that I'm not able to complete my work, which we need to do.
All right, in the classes. Got it. All right. Eklavya,
Yes, Shani.
let's send the LMS email to Sunil also. Sunil, can you share your email ID or do we have it already?
No,
I
they
just
want to.
suggested myself. I just put it in the chat box. Right.
Okay, please do
It's
that.
a personal
So-
one, right?
No, it has to be your Genpact
Official
ID.
Genpact ID.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Cool. No problem.
ईशानी
Yes, Prasad.
Yeah.
जो लास्ट का है जो डोमेन का वी आर डन विद टू फॉर्मेट राइट टेक्स्ट फॉर्मेट
Mhm.
कैपिटलाइज इट इज क्रिएटिंग द अनदर कॉलम राइट
So no, we are not going to create another column. We should have clicked on, once you've created a new column, then you should have clicked on transform and capitalize each word.
ओके ट्रांसफर पे वेरी
Transform, yes.
देन गॉट इट
Okay. So Sunil, you will get an email from us where there will be the website to sign up in the learning management system. Once you sign up, then we assign you a program like Power BI over here, and then you will be able to access all the details from it.
Yeah, I completed that step as well.
Oh, you
today morning
completed?
only. Yeah,
One
today morning I
second.
signed.
Let me quickly check only then. Sunil Advani, yes, I see. Okay, enrollments. All right, so I've enrolled you. Now, once you're enrolled, once you log in,
Okay.
okay, let me share my screen. So you are going to go to HTTP and this website, right? That is given again in the email if you've received it. It's ivproschoolteachable.com.
Okay.
And then once you log in, once you click on this part, you should be able to see the login. So over here, you see my products because I'm already logged in, but you will log in. Once you log in, then you should see the screen of my products. So once you click on my products, you should be able to see where you see statistics for me. You will be looking at Power BI.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Once you are in Power BI, then you will have something called data sets. So once you click inside the data sets, you will have about 8 data sets that you need to download.
8 data sets. Okay.
Yes, and that's about it. And then just watch the videos. Nothing much has been covered, as it's not that you will not be able to catch up. It's pretty simple things that we are doing right now. But in case you watch the videos, you have any difficulty, do let me know.
Got it.
All right.
Sure. Thanks.
All
Thanks for
right.
the help.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.